I like to use images to kick off class, and in our class, every day students are reading and writing. They come in, and when the first thing they're doing is they're reading an image, a poem, a little excerpt, and the first thing they're doing is writing about their reading. What were some of the things you noticed in the artwork?
The point of the piece is obviously just to like uplift and inspire.
Everything we look at is for a purpose, whether that be entertainment or what we're learning about in class in correlation to like a time period or specific mode of literature, whether it's poetry or prose.
To start us off, Hayden has offered to read the poem aloud.
His brass belt buckle gleaming like his proud mouth. I tell myself I don't dare lose, that this race is for the Union.
Today, after reading it through once, we were just talking about it, like stuff that stood out from us, like going step by step, what we know we're gonna need for our presentation, thinking of ideas, just kind of bouncing off each other.
It's like it ate a whole lot of rebel bullets just so they could keep the freedom they hungered so much for. And it's like, I don't know, I feel like it places more emphasis on that.
We have standards about composing texts, composing arguments, and putting together well-organized pieces of writing, and that's a natural part of what we do in AP Literature and Composition. So the unit that we're reading right now, we are studying different authors from various places around the world. Some of our authors are from Nigeria, Haiti, the United States, and then I wanted to have a Kentucky connection, so we pulled in some poetry from Frank X. Walker, who is a former poet laureate in Kentucky. Students are reading, writing, analyzing, all for putting together a symposium for other students in our school later this month. And then what did you all think about structure?
The structure is pretty simple, but it's kind of like a dedication. So you start off again with each stanza has its own very straightforward topic.
I wanted these students to have a bigger purpose that was more authentic. So the students in my class read, write, study, analyze these stories, and then they present about their analysis as an academic would at a literature conference.
There are two examples of figurative language in that brass belt buckle is alliteration, and then there's a simile comparing his proud mouth to the brass belt buckle. Talking to a larger group in a formal setting increases the pressure a little bit, which if you're able to teach those concepts, talk about those concepts under pressure, I think it demonstrates that you have to have a really deep understanding of what you're doing.
We talked about how he opens with talking about his dad and how his dad's pride for him in particular, the metaphor of his brass belt buckle gleaming like his proud mouth was like a very important line that we noticed. We were like, his father's approval is something that's important to him.
And also, I have a very strong competitive side to me. I have to do it better, and it'll push me to be a better writer.
It raises the bar in terms of what they expect from themselves, but it also gives them more of a real world situation. And I think that's important because you become so comfortable with your classmates that you take for granted the fact that they're already familiar with that story. And so you may gloss over something because they already have read that story too. But when you're presenting to a more authentic audience, you have to consider what that audience knows or brings and what they don't know and bring.
I think the father isn't necessarily his literal father, but rather a representation of those enslaved people that lived before and during the Civil War.
We haven't all read the same stuff, we haven't all really looked at the same stuff just on the internet or around, we haven't all had the same English teachers, so we have been taught and have learned differently, and so when we can come together and put our heads together and really learn things, that's really beneficial.
You are going to really dig into your story, reading with your partner, talking about it, just really trying to get to the analysis component.
The fact that his father's approval or pride is so important to him is saying a lot about him as a person as well.
I think that the interdisciplinary practices work in a bigger idea of the world because we're applying higher cognitive level thinking on a daily basis.
I was able to get a deeper meaning as I read the story, understand the perspectives of the different characters.
Literacy to me is foundational for every subject. This is how are you engaging with text in a number of ways, from your mathematics class where you might be thinking about a problem that you've solved or in writing about how you solved it or having a conversation about it, That's literacy. The way that you're analyzing and reading primary and secondary sources. And I know that our science department does that too, because they are having students read and write lab reports and engage with text in a way that is thinking about the scientific method.
I just feel like it makes it easier to understand all around. Like the way that it's written is more like simple, straightforward.
And so when we have a text that we use at the center of our instruction, then students are engaging with ideas in more meaningful ways than if they were just focusing on whatever random skill that might be there that day.
I really didn't expect it to feel like a true romance.
I keep coming back to the classroom because of the students, and that sounds cliche, I know. This is like a pivotal moment in their lives where they're deciding where they go next and what they're going to do. I get to talk to them about that, and I get to help prepare them for life right now and life after they graduate.